Alright, so I've been waiting to make this video for a while now, because I'm not exactly sure how harsh I want it to be or anything like that, but I think it's about time that I brought this to attention since I am a Warframe player with over 1,000 hours in this game. And I love this game dearly, and I really enjoy myself when I play it. But I can't hold back anymore. So, if you don't know, DE, Digital Extremes, is a company that made and is currently maintaining this game I am playing right now called Warframe. A part of their team has moved from Warframe and is going over to this game called Soulframe, which is apparently kind of like a Souls-like. I'm not too sure what it is or what the story's about. But the combat is really bad from what I've seen, and like they put more effort into shit that people don't really care that much about. Like they make animations for bosses like completely abysmal compared to other things, and it's just missed priority. It's really bad, and there's another reason why I think this game might fail quickly, especially with the combat. If you've ever tuned into one of their streams when they're showing it off, you might have heard them, you might have heard chat say like Deviri frame or some sort of that, some sort of something like that. And Deviri is a game mode, kind of, further into the game. Like you need like to go through a lot of the story to get to here, but this is Deviri, and I'll show this off. And I think that it looks like Deviri from Warframe, and Deviri does not play very well in my opinion. I have played Deviri for a very, very long time. I played it constantly non-stop when it was released, so I can get some like things in it, and I've been playing it a lot, and I've been doing the circuit to get some like incarnates and stuff. But anyways, the combat in Deviri is not very good. Just to give an example of how long I've played this, I have all of these maxed. I have every weapon, even the two new ones. And I also have the Stalker unlocked. I'm just going to go with... Actually, yeah, I might as well play Stalker. But right now, this is what you do at the beginning of everything that is either Deviri or like the circuit. You're just picking your loadout for when you actually go into and play. I'll just do this. But you have your own little like home base kind of here. And then back here you can go back to the dormer zone, which is kind of like your actual like home area. And this is the dude that talks to you all the time. And then in Deviri you have upgrades called decrees. Now I don't know exactly how soulframe is gonna work, but if it plays like this, it's not gonna be very good.
Bombastine, Deviri's preening peacock. was consumed by envy. Oh, many envied him, but he cared nothing for that.
I am better than any of them.
I'll just let these guys talk it out so I don't get interrupted.
Conspire to inflict this upon me. You. Will you defy their cruelty and aid me? It is unjust that Thrax has the sole power of life and death. I want some too. Nearby, a man is marked for execution. Save his life, that I may also, rightly, be thought of as Lord of Life and Death.
So it seems to be like soulframe plays like how like my character is right now, with like a weapon of some sorts and like a block parry mechanic and some like random like abilities. I'm not exactly sure like how it plays. I mean, I'm not exactly sure what you can do in the game apart from like other like main missions and stuff. But it really feels like this. I don't think it has a lock on at the moment. But if this is a full game and it plays like this, I don't think it's gonna be all that great. Now, some people might actually like the combat in this game, or like in this mode, and by all means, if you like it, don't allow me to what's the word I'm looking for? I'm not exactly sure what the word I'm looking for is, but like, keep playing it if you like it. But just in my opinion, if this is a full game like this,
Augustine was never satisfied.
uh,
He wanted more, for all that others
I'm not sure
felt
if it's gonna be all
reflected
that
in
great.
his being.
Thrax's power is rooted in the Undercroft. Without it, he's not that big of a deal. Not really. Perhaps you should make your way inside for a little takeover bid.
Now, in the Undercroft is actually where you get to play as your Warframe, which I know this is gonna be nothing like Soulframe. Soulframe's just gonna be in like your actual like Tenno character. But you can see how the game plays very differently, and how this plays a hell of a lot better than like anything I think Soulframe is gonna play like. And so I'm not sure if they know how to make a game that doesn't actually like play like this, where you're playing as like your actual like frame and shit. I'm just not that confident in their ability, especially after the 9 months that we've seen of Soulframe. It just does not look that promising. It really just doesn't look that good for Soulframe, man. It's kind of sad, man. I mean, people might go in for the story, like stick, they might play Soulframe for the story at first, anyways. But they will not stick around if the gameplay is terrible. Gameplay is king. If your game plays like shit, it's going to be shit. Like, nobody's gonna stick around and play a game that they don't like playing. It's kind of ridiculous, man. And I guess it might be like very stressful for DE since they have gone quite a lot of backlash about it. But I don't know, man. It just seems like it's gonna fail. It looks really bad. And then I'm not sure about the pricing. I don't know if it's gonna be a free-to-play game. If it's not free-to-play and it releases with that combat, they're gonna get major backlash. But what we have seen with DE before is that when they get like enough backlash or something, they do revert or change it in a way to where it is more consumer friendly. They did that with heirloom skins and packs and stuff like that. And I think that's a very good thing that they did that. And I think it's also a very good thing that they listen to what player feedback is. But that doesn't mean that I want the game to release and have it be bad. I like playing good games. I like seeing games that I like succeed. But they have a lot to live up to with Warframe here. And I'm just nervous for it, man. I don't want it to fail. I want it to do good. But every day I can't help but think of just how bad it looks and see that they have like made like no progress. It's really sad to see this, man.
Enemies are assaulting your excavator.
I wish it didn't have to be like this. I wish every game could just be good. But unfortunately, their priorities seem to be elsewhere apart from the combat.
Protecting or losing. You have gained much. If you choose, you may now leave.
But if you like playing Deviri as like this Tenno character here, you might like it for like an hour at most. But Soulframe's a full game. A full game.
Some days I yearn for the simple life of a farmer. No reason why I
And when I
should
played
have that.
this for more than a couple hours,
Round me up
I
a herd of
do not want to ever play it again. And it's kind of fucking ridiculous, man. Now, I'm very aware that Soulframe won't be like just this and will be more, but combat's king. Combat is everything. I hope my final objective will be fight the mounted deck, so I'm able to show you like a boss fight somewhat.
With each new toy, Bombastine moved
I
from
probably
one
should have waited so I could show you the Calvero boss fight, but I wanted to get this video out here.
grasps all of humanity by
And I have seen, I know Osmongold has made a video
the way of clay
watching the soulframe bit of the live stream of TennoCon that happened on the 20th of this month, which was about like 4 days ago. And so like that's very recent trailer, and it still looks as bad as it does is not very promising. I think many people will agree with me when I say that. But who knows, maybe this is just my opinion, and of course my opinion doesn't mean that's what's gonna happen. I'm just currently speculating and giving my best guess on what I think is gonna happen. Since I don't know, maybe it feels really good to play and it just looks bad. I don't know, but just using logic, I think we can figure out that if it looks that bad, it's probably not gonna play that good. And we already have like some sort of a reference to compare it to, so we know probably what it's going to play like. But the thing that maybe I might be wrong about this, but when I saw gameplay, not once did I see like the character lock on, and that makes me nervous because locking on in a combat game like that, it's almost like fucking mandatory that you have that mechanic to be able to lock on. And then if you don't have that, it's like it feels even worse. What? I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. It looks really bad. What we have when I play like when I play like the actual game of what it looks like, I might change my mind, maybe. It's heavily unlikely. But going back to that Asmongold video, I agree with almost everything that he said in it. And it makes me really sad to be able to see something like that. And then also visibility. This game already has problems with visibility. And now putting it in something like Soulframe, where you have, like in Warframe, you have chances to fuck up. But if it's in like a Souls game, you have even less chances to fuck up. Well, I mean, you have more chances to fuck up, but consequences of fucking up are much greater. And then if you keep playing the game and you keep on dying and the game plays like shit and you die because of the shit combat, you're gonna want to not play the game anymore or ever again, because you feel like you have been cheated because of the poor combat system. all this video really is, man, is just trying to like give my opinions of what I think the game is going to be like when it comes out. I don't know, man. To me, I have a lot more fun playing as like my actual frame with like my weapons and stuff. And it's nice to have different loadouts since it's kind of like randomized and changes about like every like hour-ish. So I don't have to manually swap it up.
30 seconds remaining. You walk the blade's edge.
But I feel like after a very long time, the game's just gonna get really tiring and boring to play. And here's more of the combat. I won't use like my special scene here, just to show like a bit of the damage. I do have some melee upgrades, so it's gonna do a lot better than it probably would if I got no upgrades. But this combat, it's really me just slamming my finger on the weapon button.
Oh, boys, go smack Bombastein's bot for me. They won't be expecting you.
Bombastine thought his self-doubt was his alone. If only he had known how many others...
There's much more to Deviri than what I'm actually doing. I'm like, there's a whole map here. And there's like these objectives I'm doing, there's more of them around. There's like this shit with like the symbols. There's minimal enemies around. There's objectives here that I can do to spawn more enemies and play more. If I try to do everything on this map, it'll take me a very, very long time to do it all.
Help them! Oh, please help them do!
Like, it'll take me a couple hours to do everything. But if you ever see a symbol like that when I'm flying around, that's an objective thing that I can do. Now, if you're wondering why it's all green, that's just like this cycle, emotion cycle that I'm in. Because all these different characters, that pop up, there are different cycles. Oh, here's something. So this is the Ravenous Maw, which is another thing I could do. Go around, eat all the fish to get shit. It's quite basic and kind of boring. And this controls really crap. I thought that plant was a fish because shit clips into the walls a lot. But it's just kind of basic and boring and not really something I want to really do. Oh shit. Fuck. 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 There we go. I swear I don't mess that up all the time. I'm not that bad.
I'll see she never sings again. It was me that gave her that voice. It's I who deserves the stage, not that ungrateful harpy. Me!
I don't know, these are kind of garbage. And then This happens at the end of every Deviri unless if you do circuit. Summons this big oral worm thing.
Is envy?
Oh, that's the cycle I'm in, envy.
A gift never enough. It darkens the sunny days with a wanting that never is met.
So the envy cycle is always Bombastine, it's always on this map, and it's always green. But there are different emotion cycles that that give out like different characters and different maps that have different like stuff in it, but slightly different stuff. Like there's three emotion cycles. I think fear, anger, and then one other I don't really remember has the boss Kullervo, which that gives like a slightly different thing to do, but it's just one different thing and it's a boss. And it's kind of a quick shitty boss. And if you do this on the Steel Path version, which is just the harder version, it's not really all that much harder. If you have enough like decrees and shit, you can't just like run through it like I did. You have to actually like play the game a little bit more, which makes the time go like super higher. But I think the like some of the animations and like the cutscenes in soulframe are very good from what I've seen. But it's just the gameplay mainly, and like the animations and the camera as well, and visibility, all that plays a key factor on why I think the game might die quickly. I can skip that, but I might as well just let it play it out. If you did this on the Steel Path version, you'll be forced out of your character, like your actual like frame, and be put into your Tenno character, and you'll have to get on your Kaith and the horse and fly on the outside portions of the arena to destroy a thing to get its immunity to frames. But like that's one of the few only differences that distinguishes this from like the harder version or Steel Path. But it's really just cranking up the numbers. That's how they did difficulty in this game. It's just higher numbers. I should really just be using this. But as you can see at the top, it has 3 phases. I'll let it do this. It's its fire thing. Every one of the dragons has this. Or oral worms. It's really easy to avoid. But it hurts if you stand in it. And now to get its last health bar vulnerable, you have to kill these things that it summons. Which, depending on the weapons that you have, could make this a little bit harder. What the fuck's going on? I don't know what the fuck was happening there. But this is pretty boring. And it only took me like about 30 minutes.
Destruction is no longer interminable.
but I can't imagine playing this game
Warrior has prevailed.
for any longer than 30 minutes and playing it like an actual game. I might as well just wrap up the video here and give off like some concluding thoughts. I'm worried for Soulframe. I'll say that. Its combat, animations, visibility, it looks like dog shit. There is no reason for you to be completely blinded by something that you do when you have to see what the boss does so you're able to avoid it. No lock-on feature means that combat is completely frustrating. And if dying has a major consequence to it, you are going to be extremely frustrated. But anyways, thanks for watching. Um, don't let my opinions ruin your fun if you enjoy Deviri, or if Soulframe comes out and you want to play Soulframe, by all means go ahead. If you actually play Soulframe and you like Soulframe, by all means keep having fun. All I'm saying is that for right now, it does not look very good. And I wish it's better. I wish it was better. But hopefully they will be focusing their attention more towards like combat, animations, and visibility. But that is just what I think. But anyways, thank you for watching.